Hello, my fellow true crime lovers. I'm coming back today to re-record the video of Heaven now that my gaming husband is not in the background yelling. I'm really sorry about that again, so let's give it another shot. I am coming today to talk about a beautiful 7-year-old girl named Heaven. She was living in Ethiopia with her siblings and her mother, who was a single mom. She was working her mom long hours as a nurse, trying to provide for the kids by herself. So her friend would watch the kids for her, and the husband of her friend was also their landlord. So they would watch the kids so that she could go and work. Well, one day the landlord was left alone with the kids, and he decided that he was going to separate Heaven from the kids, and what happened from there is just truly awful. And so I want to give some trigger warnings for this story. If you get triggered pretty easily, please listen with caution and do not proceed if you are going to be easily triggered. Again, this is a horrible, heartbreaking story, and my heart goes out to Heaven, her mom, and her siblings. So the landlord took Heaven into a room away from everybody else, and he viciously assaulted her, viciously essayed her entire body. He essayed her so bad he mutilated her insides. They completely were torn. Her uterus was torn. Her back was exposing her spine. That's how bad it was. He just destroyed her. And so that she wouldn't scream, he forced sand down her throat. So she was forced to take sand down her throat, and as soon as he was done, he wanted to cover up his tracks. So he strangled her, bathed her, and then put her body outside after cutting her up with a razor blade to make it look like she fell, and that's how she died. He got his wife and his kids to go along with the story. They backed him up. Heaven just fell. She died from a fall. Obviously, as soon as the police got a hold of everything, they noticed that she did not fall. He was arrested and charged, and then they're saying that a militia army came in, and that's how he ended up breaking out of jail. And from then on until he was captured again, he was harassing this poor mother, threatening to kill her if she didn't drop the case, coming after her, harassing. He eventually was captured and got 25 years. And a lot of people around don't feel that that's enough. And I agree that 25 years with the possibility of parole after mutilating a beautiful 7-year-old girl, that's terrible. That's not enough. There is a petition going around. I will put the link as well here, but if you go to Google, just type in Heaven's petition, Heaven AWOT petition, AWOT, and it will bring up the petition for the movement that's trying to help get this case reopened for him to get longer. The case actually is reopened because he's been appealing it, so they're going to be having court October of 2024. So it's important to get your signatures on there, your petition, to get the justice that Heaven deserves. That she did not deserve that at all. I also want to share the video of her mom talking, and another trigger warning, it is just so sad. It really is. I feel for this mom. I can't imagine the pain that she is going through. So let's listen to her story for a second.
Story of Heaven, a 7-year-old girl who was violently raped and killed by a landlord, has broken the hearts of many people. The mother of the child, who is still in bitter grief, said on a social media site that this incident happened 1 year ago in Bahir Dar City, Ethiopia. But since she has not got the true justice she deserves, her families are still in a huge grief and sadness to this day. The way the 7-year-old kid was raped was also extremely painful. The baby was violently raped by the landlord of the house that they rented to live at that time. He took her into his house while her mother was going to the bathroom. The criminal choked her neck to death painfully while he was raping her, which immediately led to her death. The mother explains that he left her blood on the floor and left her at the door to make it look like she had fallen down and died. The mother has not only lost her child, she is still in a huge grief and depression today. The neighbors and the criminal person's families are constantly threatening the mother to stop asking for justice and to leave it as secret. The criminal is also threatening her by telling her that, when he is released from jail, he wants to kill her too. Even today, she wanders without real justice, on violence on top of other violence.
In the story, they were inaccurate about one thing. The mom said she was at work. She wasn't in the bathroom, so she was not there when this was happening to her child. Just seeing the pictures of the grief that she's feeling is so heartbreaking. So again, please go review that petition to get Heaven the justice that she deserves. This man should never leave prison ever, especially if he's threatening to kill the mom as well. It is just so heartbreaking. And that is it for this week, so let's get Heaven the justice she deserves, and I will see you again for another episode of Gore Horror. Thank you so much for joining. Appreciate you all more than you know. Have a great day and be safe out there, please.